Start off with the All Progressives Congress local government chairmanship primaries, where collation of results are ongoing at the party secretariat in Ikeja. And so far, 30 results have been announced. Only 4 local government and LCDAs have chosen their candidates by consensus. The voting in the primaries to choose the APC flag bearers in the July local government election.
Not to obstruct the view of the delegates. Aspirants for candidature of the chairmanship.
Well, let's get more update on the primaries of the local by the APC to pick their flag bearers. We're joined by senior correspondent Solomon Ajuziogu, who has been monitoring this exercise. He joins me in the studio. Solomon, very interesting day for you. You have been monitoring this exercise. I mean, a lot of local governments and LCDs are picking their flag bearers today. We see 30 local governments and LCDs sending in already starting collation, as we understand. What can you tell us just about the conduct of that exercise?
I think it's been one of the smoothest that I have seen for primaries. For all the things that people, where you hear online about the politics of Lagos, about the usual Baba Sokpe and all that, you can't fault what I saw today at the Secretariat, where the chairmanship primaries for APC in Lagos State held. It was a very tight event. Delegates from all the local governments and the council development areas were there, 20 local governments, 37 LCDAs. But then, so 4 of these local governments decided that they did not need the contests. They chose their own candidates, and so they came to the primaries to affirm the candidate they have chosen. Then the others chose to go for a contest. And so it is the result of the contest that we're beginning to see. But much earlier, we had an issue. By the time I was leaving the election venue, one of the local governments arrived. Moshood seemed not to be able to come. But then suddenly, they all showed up. All the local government and the LCDAs in Moshood, they all came and they voted. But then where we've had a little bit of question is Lagos mainland local government and Yaba.
Because you reported that they have unresolved issues. What are those issues and the possibility of having the election today?
So sometimes the problem is all the contestants are looking at the delegates, okay? So people are looking to have delegates that will favor them, delegates that will likely vote for them. But who are the delegates? The delegates are just the party ESCO members in the local government. So who else do you want to be included there? Or who do you think shouldn't be in the ESCO when the ESCO has already been voted for long before this time? So it's not like the executive at the local government level was just elected for the purpose of these elections. No, they've been there and they are the ones who are going to cast the ballot to decide who will represent their own local government. This is the way these delegate things come. But then in Lagos mainland and Yaba local government, of course, you know, Yaba is the offshoot, the derivative of Lagos mainland local government. And so they had their unresolved issues. Maybe by now they would have sorted out that out, but that's been the major challenge for them. For Moshood, I guess they resolved that in good time to be able to meet the primaries going on, because we thought they were not going to come. So they were like the last sets or so.
That's the largest local government in Lagos.
To come in and then cast their ballot, and then the question was, are these the real people? And the people there confirmed that these are the real people, led by the chairman of the party in these local governments and LCDAs. And I mean, the whole thing went smoothly. If you had no job there, there was no way you were going to come in there. You know, even we, the journalists, you couldn't gain access into the voting center without your accreditation. So it was so difficult, and the distance, it was a multi-level accreditation level. They have to screen you at some point before you can enter into the road on Acme Road, because most of Acme was cordoned off, you know, or up to a section leading into the APC Secretariat. So what you do is that you take a long walk from the first point, because you must wear your tag to get in there. Then there's a second point where you'll be screened. Then there is a third point. There, you know, I mean, you have to go through
multi-layers
exactly.
of
so
security.
In the end, in the hall, only the delegates, the contestants, and the agents. One agent per contestant.
So speak to security, because you've talked about how smooth this process was. And so speak to the security, and then what you think must have contributed to, because we haven't heard anything about, I mean, you know how elections are sometimes at the grassroots, where people want their candidates to emerge. And so you hear a lot of, you hear stories about violence and all of that. Picture us why you think that, or the factors that contributed to the smooth running of this process.
I think it's just simple. They always say that there is a level of imposition within the party. But what we saw here is there are some contestants, even though the party leaders had actually asked some of the contestants to, look, go and discuss amongst yourselves, and let's see who you guys will prefer, instead of coming into the elections divided and then making the party work too hard for this. So those who wanted to do that did that. Now, what we had was a situation where some said, no, we want to go for a contest. And we've seen the outcome. That's in most of the results that are coming out, that those who won with, you know, very high margin. You know, you have, when out of 26 delegates, somebody is scoring 24, 25. You went for a contest. You Absolutely. Are so sure of yourself. That's why you went for a contest. But then you've been defeated. So what will you do? And so you say, oh, there's imposition. But these are the delegates who voted who they wanted. And possibly these party leaders in the local governments had probably told some of the contestants that, look, guys, why don't we settle it like this? Why don't we... But since those other guys decided that they wanted to go into the contest, that's the outcome. And it's been transparent so far. If you say that there are other dealings behind, horse tradings will always be part of politics.
Of course.
Discussions, negotiations, consensus, all these things. People who can get people to vote for them, or people who can engineer a level of influence on the delegates. These are the things that come to play in party politics. I'm still trying to understand some of the issues with some of the local governments, why the issue of delegates is an issue. It means if you are disputing over the delegates who should come to vote, then it means you are disputing the party leadership in your local government. That's what that means. And you know, in
terms of the horse trading you mentioned earlier, that's why you should have done your politicking way ahead.
Exactly.
And not, you know, the day of the primary.
Exactly. So you can't fault the decisions of the choice of the voting public or the voting delegates. Now you can't vote, you can't fault that because you decided you were going to go into a contest. You've seen the outcome of the vote. Nobody wrote the votes. People contested, cast their ballots. Well,
we're waiting for more updates on that primary as a result. Ayo will be bringing, and we have a reporter there, Ayo, who will be getting us more. Bringing us more updates. Thank you so much for your analysis. Senior correspondent Solomon Ajusiogo.